Welcome to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm excited for this one. Not only do I have another female on my show, which seems so hard to come by these days, but I have a just freshly turned professional MMA fighter, Maria Favela, fighting with Invicta, correct?
Exactly. Thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy. Actually, I was very excited about this interview. But yes, I have a signed contract with Invicta, but my debut was here in Mexico because the pandemic and the borders are closed for us now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very excited, and let's see what's happening.
Okay, well, before we get to talking about your debut, I want to know, how did you get started with fighting? I love your tattoo, by the way. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I seen it on Instagram. It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
How did you get started? Where did you find that love for fighting?
it was a kind of weird situation because I'm from a little village in the middle of Mexico called San Juan del Rio, and there's no MMA gyms there. Like there was just kind of MMA, but with bags, and we don't have mats in the floor. You have to put like a piece of yoga mats for drilling.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a friend that told me like, hey, let's go to train MMA, and I was like, what the hell is that? I used to play tennis for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I went to my first class, my MMA class, and they even showed me the gloves, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And the first class, I almost threw up, and I was tired, and I was like, whoa, I love it. And I love the idea of how strong can be a human body and how weak can be. Like you can break a body really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to learn more. And then I started to train more and more and more. Like for me, when I was in the college and high school, like for me, like run 1 mile, it was like a kind of dream. Was impossible for me. Yes, and
I know the feeling. I know the exact feeling.
I know. I was thinking that was only for superhumans. And then there was a huge paint in the wall of Ronda Rousey with the gloves like this, and I was like, who is she? And I was looking for her in YouTube, and I saw the first female fights with Liz Carmouche,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the cage, and I saw the environment, and I saw how they strong, how they look, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be there. And then when I finished my career and I started to move from different cities in Mexico, I moved to Mexico City with the excuse of another career, but I was looking for a good place where to train. And I couldn't find any place where to train because in Mexico, they call something barrio, like when you are from a low, like a hood or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And the teams there don't let me train because they was thinking that I don't have enough hood. That's why they was saying that.
Okay.
And I only was training jiu-jitsu, and that's it. And I had my first MMA fight, and the girl broke my arm on my first amateur fight. Yes, with an arm bar.
Oh, damn.
Yes, I remember that.
What a way to say welcome to the sport. That sucks.
Yes, I know, because I was like, oh my God, it's my first fight. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing it, but I'm going to fight. I don't care. I remember that my corner that night was drunk.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it was in a kind of bar here in Mexico. And I took the fight, and then she made me like kind of Ushimata. She was a judo girl. She took my arm and she popped my elbow. And then when I saw there was my mom in the middle, and like in the side of the kitchen, like watching me like, you're so stupid. And then we have to go to the hospital, and she has to pay for everything. And she told me like, I'm gonna let you use anesthesia if you quit, but if you're going to keep in this sport, you have to let the doctor fix your arm like that with no anesthesia. And I say the doctor like, fix my arm, and my mom was like, are you kidding me? And that's what I decided, that I have to move for a better gym, because that's not going to happen to me ever again.
Yeah.
Never. And I moved to Guadalajara with Alexia Grasso and Irene Aldana.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for a time, but I used to be a very active jiu-jitsu competitor. And for me, it was a kind of dream to go to compete to the United States to international tournaments. So when I came to Tijuana for a jiu-jitsu camp for the Worlds, for the IBJJF Worlds, and I fell in love with the team. I have a lot of teammates here in the UFC, Brandon Moreno, Jose Quiñones, Polo Reyes used to be there. And I fell in love with the team, of the coach, and the idea of that I can cross to the United States to practice jiu-jitsu and wrestling and do some sparring with girls over there and then come back to Mexico. And that's how I started to fight and start to build my career. Like in a very long time, it was a kind of hard, but that's how I start my MMA career.
Yeah. So when you got to your new gym in Tijuana, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in Tijuana, you get to your new gym and you're loving your team. What happens then? You're just training jujitsu at the time. Did you pick up a new form of martial art that you started training to, or was it still just jujitsu?
I was training jiu-jitsu for hours per day because my coach loves jiu-jitsu, and he says that I was a very bad blue belt, so he forced me to do more jiu-jitsu. But at the same time, I was training with the professional team, the sparring, the kickboxing class, the wrestling class. I trained like 4 times per day. It was 4 hours of jiu-jitsu and another 2 professional classes for 6 months. This was a kind of proof of my coach. I don't know, but he make me to work on my striking, on my wrestling. He don't let me get into the cage when he says that he think that I was in a kind of that I had like a little bit more level for MMA, because it was really hard for me to train MMA in a form like boxing or striking. For me, it was really, really hard to find a place where to train. When I was in Lobo with Alexa and Irene, it was a kind of to work. It was hard to train my technique because Alexa and Irene was on camp, and it was a lot of sparring, and we was focused on their camps. So it was hard to focus on us because we used to be the amateurs fighters. So that's what I took the decision to move. But my coach made me train with the pro team at the same time, jiu-jitsu all day.
So I'm sure that experience was just invaluable. That's 6 months of just 4 days grinding. Was it how many days per week?
From Monday to Friday.
To Friday.
But
So 5 days per week for different times per day for 6 months. I'm sure your
yes,
experience and all of those different techniques and striking and wrestling and jujitsu too just grew so much more in those 6 months because you're just so dialed in.
I was so tired, so tired. Like I remember that I cried like a lot of nights. Like damn, I'm so. It was Wednesday and I don't even know my name. I was like, damn, I'm so tired. But that makes me make like a big jump or a big step in the MMA, because that thing forced me to have level. Because sparring with Brandon Moreno, he don't care about like if I'm a girl or no. He was pushing me all the time, and if he can knock me, he will do it. So
Hmm.
I had to train hard. And I remember my first jiu-jitsu class in this gym, and the other gym in Mexico City was like, careful, roll slow, be technical. And here's like, they
It's
don't
go
care. It's
time. Just go.
competitors. Yes. When I felt the first girl, and I was like, shit, she's like a train. Damn.
So I'm sure getting in and sparring with all of those people that have such high levels of understanding of martial arts grew your confidence a lot too during that time.
At the beginning, it was like, oh my God, they are so good. And I'm a very, very, very bad fighter. That breaks me in a point that feeling breaks me, because even the girls was really good and hard. So, but at the end, like they make you like kind of a proof. Like if you break, they will not take you seriously.
Hmm.
But if they knock you and then you stand up and you want to continue, they don't matter if you're good or bad. They
They're
will
gonna show you
respect you.
respect you. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It's you have to have a certain type of grit in yourself to be able to take that kind of punishment 4 times per day and keep coming back. What pushes you? What drives you? What do you think of when you are having your worst day and you're just getting someone's bringing it to you sparring and it's just not your day? What do you think of that keeps you motivated and keeps you going?
Because I have a promise. I have a promise with my grandma and my mom that I say like one day she will see me on the UFC and she will say she's my daughter. So I have a promise with her, and with my grandma. She died with cancer, but she believed a lot in me, And when she was very, very serious in the hospital, I told her that, I tell her, like, I will do it, and I will do it. I will be there in the biggest event and the biggest company. So for me, it's that promise. And and it was a kind of challenge even with me. Like, seriously, I will not break. I don't care. I don't care anything at all. I will not break.
Yeah.
So for me, like, the hardest part is like, okay, it wasn't like, Brandon Moreno, he beat me, or Teco beat me, or Polo beat me. I was mad with me, like, you could do it better, and you don't do this. You should move your head, your hands this. It was a kind of punishment for
Exactly.
me.
What did I learn? I may
Yeah.
have got physically punished, but I learned so much in return. To next time, I'm gonna make sure I move out the way of a certain punch, or I should have slipped when I should have rolled, stuff like that. So that experience that comes with getting your ass kicked, it's so valuable
Yeah.
sometimes.
I know, like, oh, my eyes blue. Yeah, it's totally my fault. And when everybody heard that, it's like, seriously, it was my fault. My guard wasn't good. It's my fault.
I dropped my hand a little bit too much and just got caught slipping. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Okay, so you had your first fight. You won your first fight, correct, with Invicta?
No, I'm signing with Invicta, but I had some troubles because the beginning wasn't management troubles,
Uh-huh.
and then after that, Invicta told me, like, you are I signed with them on strawweight,
Hmm.
but they told me, like, okay, now the strawweight rooster is really full. We signed a lot of girls before you, so they need to fight first than you. But it was a kind of trouble with the manager. That was the problem, because it's supposed that he was working on my visa, and he was working of getting a fight, but he don't want to move Invicta. He was selling me in a bad events in Arizona for a really bad
Mm,
pay with
yeah.
no medical insurance. It was a kind of troubles,
Sound like
but
a dirty job.
yes,
Yeah.
he was only a fanboy, but anything. And Invicta told me, like, okay, and I was with my coach, like, I really need to fight, because I've been like a year without injury, without fighting. I need to fight because I have 27 years old. I need to fight
Yeah.
now,
It's
because I
time. It's go
lost
time.
1 year with the injury, so I need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Invicta told me, like, okay, if you want to fight, you can fight with another companies. Just let me know. You will still sign it with us, but you can fight with another
Oh,
companies.
well, that's cool.
Yes, they are really, really, really polite. I'm still signing with them, and they let me fight with UWC
Mm-hmm.
because the situation that I can cross the border. But I signed a contract with Combat Americas, and it was there will be my debut in Arizona. I was the co-main event. I was so happy. I was so exciting, and I remember that I was closing my camp in the UFC PI with Teco and Brandon, and I remember that I went to the last UFC event with persons, the last one, and like 1 week before the fight week. No, yes, one like 2 or 3 days before the fight week, the company called me, like, you know what, we're going to cancel the whole event because the COVID.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the worst. Yeah. Because I'm sure right now, if you're not in the UFC or Bellator or one of those big name companies, it's really hard to find a fight at the moment.
Yes, I remember that we was in the cage in the PI, and I started crying, and I was sitting in the floor in the middle of the cage crying, and there was a lot of youth fighters watching me, and they was like, they canceled my fight, and I was cutting weight. You should understand
Oh,
me.
oh no. So you already going through the pain.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
And
So what are you doing right now then? If you can't get a fight, what are fighters doing right now in the meantime since COVID is
uh,
messing everything up?
oh, the COVID beat me, seriously beat my ass so bad, because I used to have a job in the here in Tijuana, but the restaurant has to close because they couldn't still working, and I has to move to my mom's house in Querétaro. It's really far from here to Tijuana. It's in another city, because I didn't have the chance to pay the rent, the food, anything. So I
Yeah.
has to go back to home, and like I lost everything, 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 and I started to keep some private classes, and after that, I decided after 4 months, I was so depressed. I was so sad. I gained like 30. 30 pounds, maybe.
Oof.
Yes, no, I was totally messed my life. And
I'm so sorry to hear that. COVID is just horrible.
but after that, I was like really focused on me, on growing as a person. I decided to don't use the gloves when I don't feel much better with me because I was really out with a lot of pressure.
Hmm.
And I decided to come back to Tijuana. Like I was saving money and I was moving on my city, like finding some sponsorships to be here for a month or 2 months. And when I came here, I was fixing my media and I started to gain sponsorships. And when I came here to Tijuana, my coach is like, "Hey, there is a chance to fight, but here in UWC, you will win a lot of less money than your contract in Invicta, and but there is a chance for your debut." And I was like, "Coach, I don't care if I had to fight for free, but I want to
Yeah.
fight."
You just want to get in there and let it go.
Yes, I was so mad because I really want to fight, and I had the chance. I found a job here in a security company. I'm designing a manual for kidnapping for kids, anti-kidnapping. I don't know how to say in English. And I found a job, and I started to gain good sponsorships because the fight, because my social media, and I had the chance to train again, to pay my rent, to pay my food, and that's how I started again. And now I have two jobs. I have in a light company and in a security company. I'm studying another career, and I'm still getting ready for another fight.
So
But
it sounds like you almost hit rock bottom and you have recovered greatly and made the most out of the situation. That's
yes,
awesome to hear.
the pandemic teach me that I had to have an evolution. I couldn't be like I used to be. Like if something's happening in the future and I can't fight, what I'm gonna do?
Exactly. You got to adapt and overcome any situation that's thrown at you, just like
Yeah.
inside the octagon.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I need to be prepared for any situation. So that's what I decide to move a lot. And I'm now I have a lot of things to do, a lot of trainings, and I had fights and I had jobs. So that's how I start again a little bit, step by step. But I'm start to growing.
Okay, so what are you doing now? You have the two jobs, you have the social media that you're building, you're training for your next fight. Do you have a date for the next fight or is it still up in the air?
Yes, I have a date on November 13th. It will be my
Ooh.
next fight in the same company.
Do you know where?
I Yes, here in Tijuana, in the same cage, same place.
That's exciting. I'm so glad that you're able to get back into the octagon and actually put the blood, sweat, and tears that you put down in training back into the octagon and beat the shit out of somebody else. Is there any way that us fans could get the film or watch this? Is it going to be on YouTube? How could we see your first one?
The first one there is in Facebook. The company it's Ultimate Warrior Championship. No, Ultimate Warrior Challenge. I'm sorry,
Okay,
and
I'll get that. I'll get that link and I'll make sure to put it in the description too.
I will send you the link. And the next event, I think it's pay per view. I'm not sure.
Ooh,
Yes,
okay, pay per view. That
yeah.
sounds exciting. There you go.
Yes, actually, it sounds really pro, and I'm really excited about it because yesterday the owner of the company told us like, "Hey, you need to say your friends that maybe it will be pay per view," and we were like, "Okay, okay, you will receive more money, so we need to talk about the payment."
Yeah, right. Where's my pay per view cut at?
Yeah. Yes, November 13, 125 pounds. And actually, my opponent, it's the first opponent that I used to fight before, but she got COVID and they offered me another girl who took the fight. But this is the first opponent that I used to fight with her. It's going to be a little bit interesting because she was asking for me a lot of times, even with Combate America and now with UWC. So I think so. Maybe it's something personal. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting, and I can't wait to see myself. I'm becoming a fan. You're selling me right now. It seems like there's some little rivalry speakage going on in the background with you two.
Exactly. So let's see. Maybe I think she was mad because I don't know. I don't somebody says like she was scared of me or something. So I think she's mad.
She has something to prove to herself, maybe.
I think.
Well, that's exciting. 2 months away, a little over 2 months. Are you in camp now, or is it an 8-week camp? What's camp looking like?
No, I'm in camp since the last week. Yes. I was really sick. It wasn't COVID, but I was really sick with a kind of heart flu. But I start my camp the last week. I start to train 1 week before my fight, but I opened my camp the last week.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's exciting. Uh, one more thing before I let you go. October is here. Do you watch movies? Are you a scary movie fan? Do you have any favorites at all?
No, I'm a coward with scary movies. Yes, no. When I'm watching
You fight
those,
for a living, but scary movies, you're like, oh hell no.
no, like I don't know the name of this movie in English. I think it's Texas Massacre, or I don't remember the name, and Annabelle and those kind of.
Annabelle, yes.
I can with that. Seriously, I love the Halloween parties, but I can watch a scary movie.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Well, I really appreciate you getting on Talk Smack with Mac. This is your time to shine. If you want to tell the fans where they can reach you on social media or anything you want your fans to know, this is your time.
Yes, please follow my career. I know that I'm new in the sports, but I have some big things to show. I know that I'll be soon in the big companies like Invicta. I know that I'll be there really, really, really soon. And stay tuned and watch and follow my Instagram. It's majo.favela It's in English. It's a kind of hard to say in English because in Spanish it's Majo. It's a short name of Maria and Jose, but in English a lot of people call me Majo. But
yeah,
it's not like that. So follow me and stay tuned because I have very, very, very things to show, and I've been working my ass so hard.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'll make sure to put your links to the Instagram in the description as well. And thank you. I really appreciate it. That sums it up for another episode of Talk Smack with Mac. Peace.
Thank you.
Your life was on fire, now it's burning in flames, and all your bridges turn to ash. I mean, who can you blame? You got 2 credit cards and a house in your name, and yeah, your car's paid off, but the wheels fall off when you're driving crazy.